The Supreme Court cleared the way for cities along the West Coast to enforce bans on homeless people sleeping outside in public places. This overturns a California appeals court ruling saying such laws are cruel and unusual punishment when shelter is lacking. The 6-3 decision from the High Court found outdoor sleeping bans don't violate the 8th Amendment. Western cities have argued that the ruling made it harder to manage outdoor encampments, while advocates for the unhoused say punishing people who need a place to sleep would criminalize homelessness. California has 1/3 of the country's homeless population, and the governor says this decision allows state and local leaders to clear what he's calling unsafe encampments while acting with compassion.
Back here at home, the latest point in time count puts Arkansas with around 2,600 people experiencing homelessness at some point last year.
5 News reporter Lauren Spencer talked with some local leaders on how they want to combat the issue at home and looked into what regulations cities across 5 countries have in place.
I think more people than we realize are at risk of homelessness.
Cities can now decide if they want to ban their unhoused population from sleeping outside. The Supreme Court made that decision Friday. The case came out of a rural town in Oregon called Grants Pass, which has struggled for years with a rapidly increasing homeless population.
It's definitely not helping solve the problem. It's just perpetuating the cycle of chronic homelessness.
Seven Hills Homeless Center sees around 370 people a month. Case manager Daniel King believes a decision like this for cities across the country to follow isn't progress.
I think it'll definitely make it more difficult to get people housed if they owe X amount of money to the city for sleeping outside.
City Council member DeAndre Jones believes that criminalizing the unhoused is not the case in Fayetteville.
It's about safety, it's about equity, it's about being a resource. And I think that here in Fayetteville, we are continuing to do that.
In Fort Smith, camping is banned within city limits, with the exception of designated parks. Fayetteville doesn't have any bans, but in May 2023, City Council voted to make some changes to their camping regulations.
Putting up camps in what's considered city property. We examined that and more regulations around that. It's not that we're running people off and that we're running people away. It's just it's making sure that we are creating the best place for them. The Supreme Court, locally, statewide, we must be intentional. We must be deliberate as it relates to finding resources. Criminalization is not the answer.
Meanwhile, the Housing Crisis Task Force that Jones spearheaded just had its first meeting with the goal of attracting more affordable housing options to Fayetteville.
It shows us that we are having a crisis and that it's bigger than Fayetteville, but it lets us know that in Fayetteville that we are being what I consider proactive. We're looking at the unhoused population with more of a compassionate lens.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.